WNBA ticket prices just hit an all-time high and fans are losing it. Teams are charging $400 for nosebleed seats to watch Caitlin Clark play. But here's the shocking part. You can't even buy single-game tickets anymore. Want to see the most hyped rookie in WNBA history? You'll need to pay for an entire season package first. Lexi, are you going to get those relative season tickets now? I mean, we might have to. Those are pretty expensive. We'll make sure the people are working our salaries. It's like our entire salary to get those. I'm not kidding. We'll have someone work on that. Yeah, we need people to help. The basketball world is literally exploding right now over what the Minnesota Lynx and Phoenix Mercury just pulled. This is from the Minnesota Lynx. Now, as most of you know who follow the WNBA follow Caitlin Clark, you know that, and this was true in college as well, that this is basically a home game for Caitlin Clark. Now, check this out. You see these packages? 10 game packages for the Minnesota Lynx. Option to add on, folks, but let's go through the fine print. Purchase a half-season package today to receive access to add on the Indiana Fever game. These teams have basically created what fans are calling a Clark tax, but it's way worse than just jacking up prices. They've introduced a system that's got fans questioning everything about how the WNBA does business. So we know the Caitlin Clark effect is real, obviously. It is incredibly obvious that it's real. But this might just sum it up more than anything else. Now, let me paint this picture for you. Imagine you're a basketball fan who's been following Caitlin Clark's incredible journey. You've watched her break record after record in college. You've seen her transform women's basketball, and now you're hyped to see her play in the WNBA. Simple enough, right? Well, these teams just dropped a bombshell that's changing everything. If you guys don't know, teams have season tickets. In general, teams have season tickets. Sometimes teams have half-season tickets. Sometimes have all these other packages. But one team, the Minnesota Lynx, have decided, you know what, we've got our season tickets. But, we're cool with charging these guys like $30 per game for all of these. But when Caitlin Clark comes to town, we're going to be adding 10 times the price probably. Here's the deal. If you want to see Clark play when the Indiana Fever comes to town, you can't just buy a ticket to that game. No. These teams are forcing fans to purchase entire season ticket packages just to get access to one game featuring Clark. It's like going to a restaurant and being told you have to buy a year's worth of meals just to get one dinner. It's that ridiculous. So if you guys didn't see, there is a package for away games for home games for the Minnesota Lynx. So you can see here, these are half-season packages. So you can purchase packages to see every other game. You can get half-season packages for all of these games here. Option to add Fever games. Purchase a half-season package to receive access to add on the Fever game. You cannot buy a ticket to the Fever game without buying a half-season package. And we're not talking about small money here. The few single-game tickets that are occasionally becoming available, and I stress occasionally, are going for over $400. And that's for the nosebleed section. Those seats where the players look like ants. And you're basically watching the game through binoculars. Yeah, those seats. People are reporting that these prices are 3 times higher than regular game tickets. And that's if you can even get your hands on them. That is how confident they are in this. You cannot buy a ticket straight up for the Fever unless you are at all the other games. Now, let's break down why this is such a massive deal. The WNBA has been working for years to build its audience. They've been fighting against critics who said women's basketball couldn't draw crowds, couldn't generate revenue, couldn't create the same excitement as men's basketball. Then, along comes Caitlin Clark, who's literally changing the game. She's not just a great player, she's a cultural phenomenon. During her college career, Clark did something incredible. She made women's basketball must-see TV. We're talking about record-breaking viewership numbers. Games that would normally draw thousands were suddenly drawing millions. She was selling out arenas left and right, and not just home games. Everywhere Indiana played, the stands were packed with fans wearing red, supporting Clark and her team. This is where the story gets even more interesting. Instead of embracing this wave of enthusiasm, instead of making it easier for new fans to experience the game, some WNBA teams are essentially saying if you want to see Clark, you've got to pay up big time. And not just in terms of money, but in terms of commitment. They're demanding fans invest in an entire season just to witness one player, one game. On top of that, add-on tickets will be equal to or lesser value to the price of the package you purchase. We know Indiana Fever tickets are going to be very expensive, so you're going to have to spend even more on a half-season package in order to get it. By the way, limit of add-on tickets are equal to the number of packages purchased. So, even if you are a diehard, Caitlin Clark fan with the money, you cannot purchase a package of half a season of the games for you and then get, say, 3 tickets to the game for your spouse and your young daughter who's a huge Caitlin Clark fan and wants to go to this game. Let's talk about the implications here. First off, this move is creating a huge barrier for families. Think about parents who want to take their kids to see their basketball hero. Maybe they've been saving up for months to buy tickets for one special game. Now they're being told that's not even an option unless they're willing to spend thousands on a season package. It's turning what should be an accessible, inspiring experience into something that's out of reach for many families. Then there's the media angle. Independent content creators, journalists without official media passes, photographers, all these people who help promote the game and build the league's presence, they're basically being locked out. Because let's be real, how many independent creators can afford to buy season tickets just to cover one game? This isn't just about watching the game anymore. It's about who gets to tell the story of women's basketball. The social media response has been absolutely explosive. Fans are sharing screenshots of ticket prices, comparing them to NBA games, even major concerts. Some people are pointing out that you could fly to multiple cities, stay in hotels, and still spend less than what it would cost to get season tickets just to see Clark play once. And here's where it gets really interesting. This isn't entirely new in basketball history. During the Michael Jordan era, some teams tried similar tactics. They knew Jordan would sell out arenas, so they tried to leverage that to boost their overall ticket sales. But here's the difference. We're in 2025. The sports landscape has changed. Fans have more options than ever for how to spend their entertainment dollars, and social media means that bad practices get exposed and criticized immediately. What's particularly fascinating is the reasoning behind these decisions. Some team executives, speaking off the record of course, are suggesting this is about protecting their home court advantage. They're worried about what happened in college, where Clark's fans would essentially turn away games into home games for her team. But think about that for a second, and if you like the video, then please subscribe the channel.